The Valens Aqueduct is an important Roman structure that is located in the Turkish capital of Istanbul. It was the major water-providing system of the Eastern Roman capital of Constantinople, which is now known as Turkey. It was first built by the Emperor Valens in the late 300s AD. The aqueduct is located in the Fatih quarter of Istanbul and joins two sides of the valley that cut through the district. Precisely when the first construction on the aqueduct started is uncertain. Some people say that the earliest plans were drawn up during the rule of Hadrian in the 2nd century AD. A more popular view is that Valens himself started building this structure around 370 AD. The aqueduct originally got its water from the slopes of the hills between the Sea of Marmara and Kagithane. History gets mixed up throughout the years, but it's known that the aqueduct provided water to a number of important places in the 6th century. It provided it to the cistern, which is better known as a water tank that held the water for the city, and also the royal palaces, where it was running constantly. By the medieval times, it also watered gardens. Numerous repairs have been done on the aqueduct throughout the years. The first repair was done by the first Ottoman Sultan. He also wanted to improve the aqueduct by constructing new arches. The rulers that followed also did repairs and enhancements to the aqueduct, including better and newer arches. One of the most important of the restorations was carried out by Mustafa II in the late 1600s. This was the work that caused the aqueduct to survive to the present day. It is now around 3,180 feet long, although in its original days it was thought to have been even longer. Large portions of the structure don't exist anymore, but in the late 1980s and early 1990s, modern restorations have protected and reinforced what remains, and it's now a major landmark of Turkey. Another interesting fact is that originally the structure ran perfectly straight, but during the construction of the Fatih Mosque, it was bent in that section. Obviously, the time of the aqueduct has passed, and now pipes can flow uphill or downhill at any slope and be able to move water because of pumps. It is still cool to see though how our ancestors were able to move water. It is also cool because under this aqueduct there is a major road, so traffic is able to drive underneath it.
Wow, Ben, thanks for the great analysis. Now we move to Croatia, where we examine the Pula Arena, the only remaining Roman amphitheater to have 4 side towers with all 3 Roman architectural orders preserved. It was constructed in 27 BC through 68 AD and is among the 6 largest surviving Roman arenas in the world. The exterior wall is constructed in limestone. The part facing the sea consists of 3 stories, while the other part has only 2 stories since the amphitheater was built on a slope. The maximum height of the exterior wall is 96.5 feet, with the first 2 floors each having 72 arches, and the top floor consisting of 64 rectangular openings. The axes of the elliptical amphitheater are 434.5 and 344.8 feet long, with the wall standing 32.45 meters or 106.5 feet high. In its time, it could accommodate 23,000 spectators. Spread out over 40 steps, the seats rested directly on the sloping ground. The field for the games, the proper arena, measured 222.9 by 136.6 feet. The field was separated from the public by iron gates. The arena had a total of 15 gates and a series of underground passageways, from which animals and fighters could be released. Stores and shops were located under the raked seating. This amphitheater was part of the Circuit of the Gladiators. Each of the 4 towers had 2 cisterns filled with perfumed water that fed a fountain, or could be sprinkled on the spectators. The amphitheater could be covered with large sails, protecting the spectators from sun or rain. The amphitheater was first built in timber during the reign of Augustus from 2 to 14 AD. It was replaced by a small stone amphitheater during the reign of Emperor Claudius. In 79 AD, it was enlarged to accommodate gladiator fights by Vespasian and to be completed in 81 AD under Emperor Titus. Today, the arena is used as a venue for several different events. Current performances have included Andre Bocelli, Elton John, Sting, and Seal. Interestingly enough, 2 professional hockey games were played there on September 14 and 16, 2012. To me, this is the last place I would expect a hockey game to be played. Amazingly, something that has stood the test of time is still being used today for purposes of entertainment.